Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights, Tyrants of the Moonsea. Last episode, we made our way into Hillsfar, but, us alone. Me alone. Unfortunately, our companions are still stuck outside. We spoke with a couple of the merchants, nothing we wanted to buy, so it's time to go speak with this one-hand guy and see if he can tell us what the hell we're going to be doing here. The few patrons that have braved the cold weather for the warmth of the inn watch you with interest. The young innkeeper gives you a quick nod and then returns to polishing glasses. Oswulf Farnf.
Hi there.
This fresh-faced young man is not what one would expect from an innkeeper. He raises an eyebrow as you approach. A customer. You're one of only a few outside the Red Plumes to set foot in here recently. With all this talk of evil cultists about, folk would rather be inside their houses, and who can blame them? Well, what can I get you? Where can I find Kaelor One Hand? The young innkeeper nods towards the back of the inn. He's over there. I don't know what business you have with him, stranger, but I don't envy you. He's been mighty agitated since he arrived. I'd like a drink. Show me what you have. Spirits, wine, and ale. Yeah, not surprising. Forgot I picked up that copper ring. You know what? I can probably get at least a little coin for that. Will not buy items of this type. Never mind.
Hi there.
I want to rent a room. I'm afraid I can't do that, madam. Since Lord Malthier ordered the city locked down, there's been no demand for rooms. I've closed the upper floor for the time being. Sorry. Got it. Which means, I guess all we can do is speak with Kaelor.
Well met.
Kaelor looks around quickly as you approach, beckoning you into the corner of the inn. We should be safe here. You can never exercise too much caution whilst in Hillsfar. Remember that. Malthier has eyes and ears throughout the city. The Rogues Guild reports directly to him. Most rogue guilds operate outside the authorities. The previous leader of the guild held the same view. He quickly disappeared. His successor wisely chose to reconsider the guild's position. I want to know more about you, Kaelor. I was born on a farm, tilling the fields to my 17th year, when my family were butchered by a group of orcs from the Citadel of the Raven. I killed them all, though I lost my hand. In spite of that, the Red Plumes of Hillsfar hired me. A few years later, Malthier seized the city. Captain Jorgen decided to back him, and so the Red Plumes became another tool of the Tyrant of Hillsfar. Tell me about Captain Jorgen. He was a great warrior. Still is, although the years are slowing him. Jorgen gave me the chance to prove myself in the Red Plumes. His disposition has soured since, but I'll always be grateful to him. Tell me how you came to know Sherilyn. Kaelor goes silent a moment, remembering events many years past. She was a young lass when I first set eyes on her. Her father had just been taken by a group of Red Plumes, a group of which I was part. Malthier had issued a death sentence for any non-human that remained in Hillsfar. I smuggled Sherilyn and her mother out of the city before my fellows slaughtered them. It was already too late to save her father. In the years that followed, I swore I would never allow such a tragedy again. I resolved to rid Hillsfar of Malthier. I kept in touch with Sherilyn. We were never more than friends, but I grew to love her. Tell me about Malthier. He has succeeded in making Hillsfar the most powerful city in the Moonsea, when many predicted it would fall to the Zhentarim or the Blades of Mulmaster. He's not an evil man. No, he is worse. How is he worse? Malthier cares not for evil or cruelty. He takes no pleasure in suffering, yet he would exterminate an entire population in an instant if he felt it threatened Hillsfar's prosperity. Manshun may be more powerful, but Lord Fazul more infamous. But Malthier is the most ruthless man in the Moonsea. I see. As you wish, but make it brief. We cannot be seen talking together for long. Let me ask some questions about Hillsfar. Ask. What are the important locations in Hillsfar? Titus's Emporium sells all manner of goods. The Vault of Swords is one of the largest temples of Tempest in the realms. However, the arena is Hillsfar's most famous landmark. Tell me about the Red Plumes. Oh, the Red Plumes had a modest beginning. Jorgen Bergenblade formed the company almost 30 years past. Since then, its ranks have swelled to over 5,000. Few armies in the realms can match the Red Plumes. Who ruled here before Malthier? There's an old saying, To rule the Moonsea, one must become twice the tyrant one overthrows. Malthier did that and more. The old council members were greedy, often corrupt, sometimes cruel. Malthier had them all killed. I'm looking for places to trade. Then visit Titus's Emporium. He has many rare items. You could also try the Central Market. Alright, enough questions. Aye, down to business. I've learned a little about the Order of the Crippled Fang. The reports I've received make for grim reading. Much as I hate Malthier, I am not convinced he has anything to do with this cult. It isn't his style. It's too chaotic, too risky. Why do you say that? Malthier is the consummate schemer. He never risks playing his whole hand if he doesn't need to. As a diversion designed to weaken the Zentrum, the Order's activities are too overt. Hillsfar's involvement would place trade with the Sembia at risk. So if the Order aren't agents of Hillsfar, who are they? This Maganus is an archmage of great power, that much is clear. I have learned that the cult include priests of Cyric, as well as veteran warriors. Former Red Plumes, no less. Ah, so Cyric is potentially involved. Priests of Cyric. The presence of Cyrisus suggests the Dark Sun is somehow involved with the cult. Perhaps the Order is an offshoot of the Church of Cyric. Their chaotic actions are more in keeping with the Prince of Lies than Malthier. Why would Red Plumes join a cult? It makes no sense. Even Malthier couldn't arrange for men and women to abandon their families and join some violent order. Over 100 have recently deserted. That's several patrol groups. Do you know anything more about Magnus? Whoever he is, he's kept his presence a secret for many years. From the scattered reports I've received, he wields magic that few, even Malthier, could hope to match. I doubt a mage of such power would agree to do the bidding of another. Who or what exactly is the Crippled Fang? I'm not certain. Given the proximity of ancient myth Draenor, I wonder if it is some kind of devil that has escaped the ruins. Just direct me to where the Order is hiding out, then. I've received several reports of murderers near Elventree, just outside the Cormanthor forest. I believe the Order of the Crippled Fang is holed up there, somewhere. The vast wilderness is the perfect place to hide. Tell me more about Elventree. It's a small village on the edge of Cormanthor, home to elves, half-elves, rangers, and druids. Malthier would dearly love to send the Red Plumes to raise it, but the Dale lands would be up in arms in an instant if he made such an attempt. I want to ask about Cormanthor. Cormanthor is the largest forest in northern Faerun. No man, woman, or beast knows all its dark secrets. Assuming the Order is acting alone, they would need a constant source of food such as the forest might supply. Anything else? There's drow in the forest, but few so close to the border. It makes sense to assume the murders were the work of the Order. My contact in Elventree will know more. Then Elventree is where I'm headed. Whatever you decide to do, there is a small task you need to perform before you can leave Hillsfar. Alright, tell me about this task. You'd better make sure you have everything you need. I don't want you to do this before you're fully prepared. I'm ready now. Kaelor looks at you. For a moment, you see something strange in his eyes. Regret? Suddenly he whistles, and a large group of red plumes bursts in, a familiar, crazed face at their head. The old man? The fuck?
There you are, vile brute! Thought you could hide yourself in the corner of this dingy inn and escape your rightful punishment, did you? Old Whack always catches up with them, yes he does.
What's going on here? Far from the raving lunatic he first appears, the old man now seems frighteningly lucid.
Cease your babble, you hoodlum! Did you really believe you could assault the honoured Whack Rathar, close personal friend of Lord Malthier, and appointed Keeper of the Peace?
What are you talking about?
Feigning ignorance again, eh? Deceitful as well as bloodthirsty, are we? I don't know what primitive backwater you crawled out of, but in Hillsfar, attacking the Keeper of the Peace is a crime punishable by death!
The old man who calls himself Whack Rather gives you a horrible grin.
The guard on gate duty will attest to your brutality. He witnessed your savage assault. Why, he was quite horrified. Now you will answer for your crimes.
Kaelor, do something? As the words leave your lips, you hear the sound of a longsword being withdrawn from its scabbard. Warm heat from the flame engulfing one hand's blade washes over your back, and Whack Rather's eyes widen in surprise, and then delight. The world seems to explode in a chaotic mass of color. The heat from a moment ago is as nothing compared to the white-hot explosion of pain in your skull. You catch a brief glimpse of Kaelor, one hand standing over you, then only darkness. Oh, goody. Wonderful. This is wonderful.
That was a nasty head wound. I'm glad I could treat it before any permanent damage was done.
So, this is the one they're all talking about.
Apparently, One Hand himself signed the arrest warrant.
Quiet. They are waking up.
Great. So, I'm gonna be dealing with the arena. I had heard about it. Father Garth.
I greet you, my child.
This old man wears ragged brown robes that are torn and covered in grime. His weathered face is covered in scars that do nothing to diminish his kindly smile. His blue eyes are still sharp despite the years, and his voice is strong. Ah, you're finally awake. You were out for several hours. Someone gave you quite the bash on the head. I am Father Garth, devout servant of Ilmater. Father Garth, an odd name. My full name is Gareth Almantor. The name is a haughty one, noble and yet unworthy. When I chose to discard my material possessions in the service of Ilmater, I cast it off. Now I am known simply as Father Garth. Where am I? We are in the bowels of Lord Malthier's arena. Above us is the fighting pit. This cell is but one of many that make up this underground complex. Tell me how I got here. I gather you ran afoul of Whack Rather, Malthier's closest friend. Whack has free rein to terrorize Hillsfar's populace, and is actively encouraged by Malthier to keep these cells well stocked. Ah! So, the old man thing accusing me of taking his spoon was entirely so that he could throw me into the arena because he's a shitlord. Got it. I need to get out of here. The old man inclines his head. Forgive my curiosity, but I couldn't help but overhear Officer One Hand's discussion with the Innovator after you were brought here. You possessed quite the reputation. One Hand was here? What did he say? One Hand said you were a Harper ally and should be under close supervision at all times. The Innovator will be keen to break you. The Innovator? The Innovator of Pain. It is a title the Arena Master has adopted. The name is apt. He is a madman who revels in the suffering of his gladiators. Who are these others in the cell with us? The wizard over there is Blizzard. Ooh, I remember her from the last module. She's been here for years. For such a young woman, she possesses unusual power. She suffers, of that I have no doubt, but she is unwilling to share her burden with me. Perhaps she never will. It gives her strength. The Orc is a recent arrival. He's a strange one, exhibiting the mannerisms and speech of an elf, despite all evidence to the contrary. Blizzard believes the poor creature suffers from a sickness of the mind, but I'm not so sure. Perhaps you should speak with him to learn more. Tell me how I escape. In the 8 years I have been here, only one gladiator has ever gained freedom from this place. Lord Malthier granted the Red Minotaur its freedom. Everyone else has found release only through death. There is only one known exit from this place, through the gates leading to the pit itself. They are guarded by fearsome golems. I still have all my possessions and my magic. I'm a fighter, I don't have magic. The walls of this complex are enchanted so that no teleportation magic will function within. The golems are all but impervious to magic and physical harm. Many have tried to escape, my friend. They all perished. I can handle some golems. I wish you every success. I am an old man, and I would prefer to spend my remaining years helping to ease the suffering of those who find themselves in this place. Speak with Elf and Blizzard. Relish the peace and tranquility while you can. Soon you will be called upon to enter the fighting pit. We will talk later. This large, powerful orc squints at you as you approach. His small piggy eyes regard you steadily but without malice. Although he looks the same as any other member of his race, there is something in the way he holds himself that seems different.
Well met, friend. It brings me great sorrow to see another poor soul imprisoned in this most foul of places. It has been 10 days since I danced under the light of Sehenin Moonbow alongside my fellow elves in the enchanted glades deep in the heart of the Cormanthor.
You are aware that you're an orc? The orc gives you a confused look. This is no time for jests, friend. I have been here but a brief time, but already the horrors I have witnessed have sapped the joviality from my soul. How I yearn to have the lofty boughs of the forest above me once more. But you're an orc. Look at your skin, there's tusks. The orc looks at you aghast. I fear your mind is under some manner of bewitchment. Your sight betrays you. I assure you, friend, the blood of the Tel Kassir courses strongly through these veins. Sure, let me ask you some questions. In this lonely place, the voice of another civilized being is a gift to be treasured. Ask your questions, my friend. What's your name? My name... I fear I cannot remember. The others have taken to calling me Elf on account of my race. Something must have happened to have robbed me of part of my memory, but I cannot remember what. How did you end up here? I was taken captive by red plumes just outside Cormanthor. I heard the sounds of violence and I left the forest to investigate. There I found a wolf ravaged by injuries, his blood spilling onto the snow. I spent several hours fixing his wounds. Oh, really? Before I could return to the forest, a patrol of red plumes chanced upon me. They surrounded me, and although I have some skills with my swords, there were too many. They clapped me in irons and brought me here. I want to ask about someone. Of course. I have only been here a short time, but I know a little of the folk here. Tell me about Father Garth. He is a great man, a bastion of virtue in this pit of corruption. It is said that he never fights back when he is thrown into the pit. He would rather honor his god and absorb the suffering than fight back and break the tenets of his faith. What do you know about Blizzard? She is a quiet, intense woman and keeps to herself. I haven't spoken with her at length, but I have heard tales of her deeds in the pit. We could have a worse cellmate than Blizzard. I want to ask about the Arena Master. The orc grips the hilts of his long swords and snarls. The innovator of pain, a human of unbelievable cruelty. His dedication to the pursuits of torture and suffering rivals that of any priest of Loviatar. Truly he is a monster made human. Alright, farewell. Fare thee well, friend. May Corel and Larethian watch over you in the trials ahead. And let's speak with Blizzard again. It's been a while. This young mage is only in her mid-20s, but her eyes betray a lifetime of horror. Her voluminous blue robes cover her thin frame like a shroud. She gives you a guarded look as you approach.
Another one of Wax's victims. Yes, my commiserations. If I ever get free of this place, I'll hunt down the sadistic old monster and make him answer for every crime he's ever committed.
Who are you? I am Blizzard. It is not the name I was born with, but it fits well enough. I've been here 4 years, killed more times than I can remember. How did you end up in the arena? It's a long story. Not all in Hillsfar are happy to suffer under the fist of a tyrant. The resistance group which I was part of was betrayed. They're all dead now, save for me. I want to ask about someone. Who do you wish to talk about? Tell me about Father Garth. He is one of the few that has been here longer than me. He refuses to fight in the pit, preferring to absorb the blows that pummel his frail body. Father Garth refuses to fight. He yet survives because the Arena Master, the innovator of pain, will not see him die before he is broken to him. That's sadistic and monstrous. The innovator of pain is a sadist. Malthir once offered him a generous retirement as a reward for his stewardship of the arena. The innovator refused. He prefers to remain and carry on inflicting cruelty and death. It is what defines his wretched life. What do you know about the orc? You mean elf. He was brought in recently. He claims to be an elf from the Cormanthor forest, but he doesn't even remember his name. At first, I thought he was suffering some kind of curse. After numerous magical experiments, I concluded that he is, in fact, an orc. An unusually intelligent one, and a fighter of no small skill. He slew a Tanaruk in single combat on only his second day here. Perhaps he has some illness of the mind. Tell me about the Arena Master. The innovator of pain. He is evil to the core, a man who could educate the legions of the Abyss on the arts of torture. You will meet him soon enough, if you haven't already. Do you know anything about Kalor One Hand? Kalor is the red plume who brought you here, no? I caught but a glimpse of him through the bars of the cell door. Once he was known as a good soldier. No doubt his spirit has darkened since. Help me escape this place. If I knew how, I wouldn't be here. There must be hidden exits, but none of the gladiators are privy to them. I once swore that I would never surrender, that I would survive and grow in power until I was strong enough to break free. I am beginning to doubt that that will ever happen. Farewell, then. The young wizard regards you with a level gaze. You are powerful, Luca. There hasn't been a hero as famous as you here before. Your arrival has given me fresh hope. Okay. The cell door shoots up and someone calls your name from the other side. Which means I think an arena fight may be about to begin. I think I'm going to end the episode here. Not the stream, just the episode. Yes, a much shorter episode, but I feel like we may be about to start fights. And I kind of feel like I should keep the entire arena section in its own episode, don't you? So if the next episode goes long, it'll compensate for this one being a bit short. So, I am going to end this episode here. Next episode, we'll be dealing with the arena. Till then, I am Chestic44, also known as Fly. That is Luca Narani. This has been a Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights, Tyrants of the Moonsea, and I shall see you all next time.